fellow YouTubers, Trouble8385 here with YouTube Gaming Community number 58. First things first, here's my lovely new coffee mug. What's funny about this coffee cup is this is one of those places where the coffee cup is blank, you pay for it, and then you paint it. This is actually $12. And all these symbols on here, the 2600, the Dreamcast, and the PlayStation 1 symbol, I'd actually brought these up on my phone and showed it to my wife, and she actually did this. She's really a great artist if she ever wanted to do it. But so now I have my new coffee cup. Which if people are going to ask me what's in it, this time it's simply orange. So, anyway, last video, YouTube Gaming Community number 57. It's funny because sometimes your channel turns into a love fest, right? Great video, and sometimes people don't want to be negative, so they don't give you your honest response. But you go to someone who leaves a response video, and it sees people's honest opinions about the video. Now, a lot of people got the impression that when I had talked about Viper's video on Ontheairfan, that whole thing was about him, and it was not. Actually, a small part of that was about him. Most of that was just me going on about other people I've seen do this. And nor was it my right to tell anybody they should leave YouTube. Now, if I say I wish people would leave YouTube, that would be my opinion. To say someone should leave YouTube is not right, because I have no right to decide that as much as anybody else does. So I was rethinking, how should I redo that topic thing? Because a lot of times I've seen this over the past, over doing now 58 videos, that I say this is an example, this would maybe inspire me to talk about this, and people assuming that I'm calling that person out, which most time is not even the case. So for now, what I thought I would do in this situation is I will simply talk about the topic and say there'll be examples below, and then I'll leave 2 or 3 examples, because it seemed like I was singling out one single person. But I do stick by the opinion that simply, if you think this other website's so great, and you think it's so great, and you talk about how great it is, and how much you don't like YouTube, then leave. So to start our videos to check out today, the first one is by Ontheairfan, explaining some things. He barely even talks about me in this video, but he explains some of the things he want to explain about the new channel and everything, his old channel. So if you're interested, check that out. RetroSofer had Sega Saturn magazine, issue 31, May 1998. So if you're interested in checking that out, old magazine out, check that out. And then Xemption, Atari 2600 new unbox, awesome find with games. So if you want to see that, check that out. DinkyDana's My Biggest Game Pickups Ever, 62 games, half the console's collection, and the console would be none other than the 3DO, so if you're interested, check that out. Rockythefishman, how to transfer files from the Amiga 600/1200 to PC and back again. TheEMUReview, he put up the second part to GBA into DS Cases Part 2 follow-up, where he went to that website, he downloaded the actual the original coverage to the games and transferred them over to DS cases because to have somewhere to store them. Next up, EquilibriumGaming's Marvel vs. Capcom 3 unboxing, Pac-Man CE offline tutorial, and Game Locker tour. If you're interested, check that out. Next up, SteveBenway's Astromilon on the Memotech MTX512. If you've never seen that before, check that out. And LargosMaximilan Win a PS3 game. So if you want to go to this video, check it out. And he has very few rules to actually do this contest, but if you're interested, check that out. Dash Central 500 and 600 subscribers shoutout special part 2, where not only does he shout the people out, but he actually shows their page when he does it, which is really cool. The Gibbs 24 Q&A session sub special part 1, where obviously she does Q&A from her subs. And then I got 3 videos from Amisbro this week. He did a 3-part series on gaming morality. And the first one was Late Night Shift 2-15-11, cheat-throughs versus play-throughs, where people actually say they play through the game and they really didn't. They cheat to get through the game. Next one is Late Night Shift 2-16-11, reproduction carts. This one he discusses why he thinks reproduction carts basically are a good alternative, like buying a reproduction of a really expensive game and still being able to play it. Or maybe a game that never came out over here, but it's really expensive because it's out over in another country. Late Night Shift 2-17-11, emulation versus original copies, which of course we know is one of the more hot topics with people today. Next up, Jill Pooh 3, Nintendo Junkie Tuesday, episode 39, season premiere, and Mario is homeless. Has a really cool intro to this, his new videos. If you like guitars, check that out. Luke Morris 1, making another harness, Hyper Neo-Geo 64 ROMs, etc. So if you like Luke's videos, check that out. Skog Gaming, Super Mario RPG drawing from Wes Gross Customs. If you want to see a cool drawing of Mario characters, check that out. GameStraight1's Rare Colombian Home Arcade System Review. It originally was released as an Atari 2600 clone for a limited time for the members of the Columbia House Home Video Game Club, which I believe that was more kind of like the older days when they used to have the Columbia House music club and VHS movie club, all mail order. So a television dude wanted me to shout out a couple of videos, and the first one is by Cobra DVS Game Room Tour, and next is the Atari 2600 fan, My Game Room Tour Part 1, and the video of Part 2. Then the Mez wanted me to shout out The Clan of the Grey Wolf, 16-Bit Gems number 20, BS Zelda, and Satellite View Retrospective. He's showing you one of the rarest Zelda games that had ever come out, and he does not consider the CDI one of the rarest. So, really cool. Check that out. So, today for our topic was ironically something that happened to me earlier in the week. It was one of those nights where usually my son goes to bed early, but this night he took a nap in the middle of the day, so he was up late. And so for that 10-minute video, from basically 10 o'clock to 10:10, read books and put him to bed. But I was still on Skype and forgot to get off Skype. Ironically, during that time, I got a call on Skype for a project that I talked about with other people, and of course informed my wife of it, because if you don't inform her, it could get very ugly if she doesn't know what's going on. And ironically, I was putting my son to bed, and they kind of how life gets in the way without you realizing kind of thing. And it actually started to make me thinking, let's have some fun with this one. Were there any maybe collaborations with other people on YouTube, projects you're supposed to do with them that you did that had some funny things happen that were funny? Now, don't actually say the person's name who you're doing it with, because I don't want to have any problem with the other person's upset because you made fun of them and you thought it would be cool, but it wasn't. So that is our topic for today. And on the strategy guide topic, basically everybody, most people, and everybody doesn't have a problem with strategy guides. Most people probably would use a strategy guide when they start to get in trouble. Most people would rather play the game first, and then if they have to use a strategy guide. And last but not least, I seriously must thank everybody, because without your channel recommendations, without your topic suggestions, without the videos you send me to check out, simply put, my videos would not be as good as they are. Or your comments. So thank you everybody for that, and for now, goodbye YouTubers.